Yeah, let's trim the 4th Finale. Can be kind of bad to draw multiples anyways. Cannoneer with like Detectives Phoenix and Cannoneer with FOMO, like all this just seems so sick. I think this build is at least going to be doper. So I still think we want Commercial District as our Surveil land. I don't know if I want to play a Gingerbread Cabin in all forests. I think we probably should in a non-saga build. Just one Gingerbread Cabin, one Commercial District. 8 fetch lands with one Commercial District, 2 Stomping Ground. I guess the Yavimaya doesn't do anything. What is Gingerbread? Hedge Mage also. I don't think I want to have like we already have 2 fetchable utility lands. I don't know if I want to have 3. Once you hit the 3rd one, you just start drawing 2 of these in your opening hands way more often, and then it's just very awkward. So this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fetchables. So I think we just play like a Verdant Catacombs. Not sure we reliably cast Cannoneer in the deck. Well, let's find out. I maybe, but it's, you know what? I think that cutting the Finale is actually wrong. I think cutting the Finale is actually going to be wrong because it's a pretty important enabler for the Cannoneer because it gets us our cookbook, and because we're down on sagas, we kind of need it. But it's like we have 12 cookbook cards basically. Asmo, Street Wraith, Cookbook, Finale, which just makes Cannoneer so fast. I think I need the 3rd Daredevil. Verdant Catacombs. Just another green fetch and a deck of all green fetchables. So maybe trim a FOMO? Completely, I can't cut the 4th Wraith. Need all the geese, I think. Could be wrong about the geese. I still think it's the 4th Troll King. I strongly disagree. Thank you for the comment, I guess. I'm going to cut the 4th FOMO. Probably 4th Kappa. Yeah, we could cut the 4th Kappa. Yeah, no, that's just right, yeah. It's more awkward to draw 2 copies of this early because you can discard the Troll King for value, which is why I don't want to cut any copies of it. In a deck with that's really on Cookbook and FOMO. But yeah, this seems better. You can dig for it too with the rumbles. Didn't think we'd be changing so much. Don't need Wraith when you have Finale Saga Cookbook. You absolutely must play 4 Wraiths in your Detectives Phoenix Asmo deck. Not a conversation at all. Oh yeah, so we need to update the sideboard too, of course. Now that we don't have Saga, we're going to be cutting, and we have some blue cards too. So I don't need the Haywire Mites. I think I still want the Damping Spheres. We'll probably be in on Endurance. Yeah, maybe just play like 4 Consigns. I want the Force of Vigors for Domain pretty badly. Maybe we just move away from the Rough Tumbles. I feel like I want a Graveyard Hit Rate really bad. Still need Misty Overheath. Any green fetch land is exactly the same. I don't want to talk about it. I'm not interested in talking about it. It's like the 6th time I've said that this week. All the green fetches are the same. So my opponent is on the play with a Gigantha. I'm going to Surveil turn 1, I think. Still have 1 Breeding Pool left in the deck. Yeah, with less lands, still Seekers. But we do have like 11 good cards to mill over, so we have like 29 good hits with it. Should be like a pretty reasonable number. NT been push above FOMO in these decks. Yeah, it's like Cannoneer, Troll King, Street Wraith, Daredevil, Phoenix a lot of times. Like these are just bad flips off NT. Doogie with the 4 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Need this to be a good rumble. Good enough. Yeah, but I mean, it's possible that Steel Seeker is good. I haven't played with the card in a long time. I wonder if they're playing our Rakdos build from this week. Definitely looks like it. They're hitting me for 8 here. But I can go Cookbook, discard Phoenix, Asmo, Cookbook, discard Phoenix, kill something. Why not play Cookbook? So this spawn token is likely going to stay around. If they kill it with a removal spell, I'm pretty happy with that exchange. 18 lands, by the way. And if I could use the spawn to cast a Cookbook now, or I could do this. I could do this and then still cast the Cookbook, still have the food token, still discard the 2 cards I want to discard, still kill something, but still have this spawn token available to potentially like hard cast a Feasting Troll King for 6 mana. So you want to discard a food token main phase so they can't kill Asmo in response to you making the food token. Thanks, Infested, for the 3. Yeah, I did think about playing Violent Urge in the deck. It might be wrong to not have 4 Kappa Cannoneers. So far, it has seemed like we're just like very itchy to draw a Troll King or a Cannoneer. We haven't found one. Obviously, don't mind getting Thoughtseized at all. So kill the Channeler, untap. A lot of good top decks. So I hadn't won Inti in our earlier build. I think I'm just getting a FOMO, right? And then, sorry, I need to be in a better habit of doing this, but I can discard this Heath and then just draw with an empty hand. Don't love going to 6. I'm going to cycle the Wraith, though. Okay, nice. And then we get to discard the Troll King. Although I guess it doesn't really make sense for me to... Yeah, it doesn't really make sense for me to get the Troll King back now, because I might want to... I might want to kill the fear of missing out if they like play a Phoenix. But I think they're playing my Rakdos list from earlier this week, which wasn't playing Phoenix. Could have got Cannoneer. What do you mean? With Finale? It's not how... Why no Saga? This deck is way too color intensive for Saga, or at least this build, I think. We had... If you could play just green-red with Saga, and I'm still like not convinced the Sagas are like correct. So I think I blocked the FOMO first. Or block with FOMO first. And then maybe they like Tarfire it, and that's okay. And we just like chump block with the spawn token. It just feels like in like this more color intensive build, you're just time walking yourself whenever you play Urza Saga. Have I tested Dimir Cookbook? Yeah, a lot. You can find some YouTube VODs. Because that's a dead FOMO. We're gonna attack for 12 here with the Troll King. Maybe should have left the Asmo back last turn. Could discard that for a food almost definitely. So no Unholy Heat in their hand is good news, but it didn't seem like they had it. But I think I built their deck. At least if they played Dreadhorde Arcanist, I built their deck. And I wasn't prepared for a hasty flying Feasting Troll King. If I had to bring an alchemy card to paper, assuming the rule somehow works in paper, would it be? I know the only alchemy card I really know is like Oracle of the Alpha and Assemble the Team. I can't really remember any others. Okay, they did not build a deck. I wasn't splashing blue. So they probably are splashing for Frog and like the Rakdos shell. It's a bit awkward with Arena of Glory. Joymonger26, hopefully bumping to Vegas. Yeah, it'd be fun. I've done some studying for Sealed. I'm going to try to do some more studying. We'll see. But I'm not as prepared as I'd like to be. Jurassic is super sweet. Yeah, people like that card. I'm not the biggest fan, I think. This may be just like a Thoughtseize for info. Okay, Unearth a FOMO. It doesn't have haste. Thanks, Moons. Okay, they discard a Mire. Plays a Mire. They're hasting something. Is it a third FOMO? Hopefully it's something sick. I think this is a Psychic Frog. And that they can't haste it. I mean, no, that can't be right. Okay, this is a hasty Oculus. Wow. Wow. What the hell? Opponent is cooking. So, good news is this just wins this combat, right? When people first came out, I thought Asmo Troll King was going to be the best deck when Amici first came. Yeah, a lot of people. I remember like playing against Doom, playing the deck, and it was pretty scary. I actually thought about playing Bartered Troll, Bartered Troll in this list. I decided against it, or Bartered Ox, Bartered Cow. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Whichever one you could discard and it makes a food token when you discard it. I thought about including that. The last card would have to be something crazy. Hasty Oculus, very cool. Not good enough for them to win. They're a FOMO channeler on Earth deck. Let's bring in all our endurances. I'm gonna cut my FOMOs against the removal. I'm bringing in kind of a higher end card that's like isn't exactly on plan, kind of like FOMO. FOMO's kind of like enabler payoff, but I don't know. Maybe just not for this kind of matchup. Let's try this. Could play like one FOMO over Wraith number 4. Yeah, I mean we did Finale for a FOMO, so like let's do that so we have that option available to us. Hope they're playing Skelemental. They probably aren't if they're playing Oculus, but it would be pretty cool. I just noticed Athena is here. I'm gonna miss Athena so much, as I always do when I go out of town. I'm all in Bartered Cow and something like Unmarked Grave. Something like Unmarked Grave. Let's click the keep button. Probably just put back the second Rumble. Yeah, not playing the Team or Triumph. I think it'd be unlikely correct too. So we'll discard the Troll King end of turn. My opponent discards a Tarfire to their fear of missing out. Thanks, Af. The dogs are doing well. Athena's got dog anxiety, and Lucy's pretty crazy as always. But they're good dogs. So there's a pretty good chance I'm just going to go discard my cookbook end of turn. Maybe if they kill my Asmo, I discard cookbook, kill the FOMO. But I really want to Inquisition. Okay, I could endurance them, discard my cookbook, and let the Inquisition fizzle. That seems probably incorrect. Let's just let that resolve. There are 4 Tarfires needed in Gen Delirium. They're better than everything else. They're very important to have. Yeah, I would certainly recommend them. Okay, so if we draw a land, can you? My opponent Surgical's Feasting Troll King in response. Good thing we've got some Cannoneers. If we drew the land and we could go like Cannoneer and Troll King, that turn would have been pretty dope. So we draw another Rumble. I don't have a red source. Yeah, I think I'm going to take the land over the Endurance. The Endurance would be pretty good here. But this lets me keep the other Rumble, and the other Rumble is pretty valuable, I think. I could even potentially feel some... Yeah, I can even just kind of comfortably... Oh, wow, we drew this, though. That's pretty interesting. That makes me more inclined to just discard the Rumble to the Cookbook. I'm not sure if I want to do that because the Rumble is, again, of course, so valuable. Okay, so if I discard Rumble, true token, kill Fear of Missing Out, so I take 3 instead of 8, untap, I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I think we probably need to at this point. Three cards in their hand. 3 damage dealt to me. All right, do I Cannoneer or do I Asmo? Let's Asmo. Just basically a crazy 3-for-1. Maybe we should have Stomping Ground in the second Rumble. Digs deeper. Yeah, but the thing is the spawn token was really important just to cast the Cannoneer, so I didn't want to throw it away necessarily. And then getting the Surveil is also, nice. And was good, too. Been playing the Grinding Station combo deck, and we've been stretching the Teamer with Saga pretty easily. Yeah, but your deck is like way less color intensive than this one. Like you don't have a green card on turn 2. Like basically everything costs 1 singular mana. You have Mox Amber to kind of help stretch. You also play higher land counts. You curve out at 4 instead of curving out at 2 effectively. Curving out at 4 allows you to play higher land count. Make sure I do have another cookbook in the deck, actually. Looks like I have one more. My opponent says, how are you so good? I haven't even cast the Kappa Cannoneer yet. Your turn. Look at their graveyard. That is a full graveyard. Is Saga Spear not workable? We have a Saga Spear build. It's in the Mox field. I think you play Cannoneer or Saga Shadow Spirit. I think the Cannoneers are better. You're just so color intensive. It's like there's so many turns. Like you just take a turn off the Saga and you can't double spell. You can't cast a Finale. They have Toxic Deluge. Maybe it's just Oculus. Okay, it's just Oculus. Feel free to unearth it. Sorry, Dwight Schrute. It's like Lightning Bolt, Galvanic Discharge, Flays are just all so fucking popular. It's just like so hard to play those cards. Yeah, I think we had to mulligan that one. I'm gonna grip in this Phoenix and hope for the best. My opponent kept 7. Okay. How come there's 3 basic forests, no basic mountains? We have a Gingerbread Cabin in the deck, which can be pretty powerful, but we can't afford to play any non-forest if we want to include this Gingerbread Cabin, I think. Is there a legit substitute for Finale? Urza Saga, maybe. They should make this attack if they had Bowmaster or not, so I think I should block. If they have Bowmaster, I don't really even care so much. where they're like not advancing their combo, and I kind of don't want to sack my food anyways. Let me just finale this turn. I like that this puts Cookbook in the hand, and then the Rumble can like I can make a spawn and then like cast the Cookbook off the spawn. Yeah, it's pretty dumb that Finale is so expensive. I remember like back when we were playing a lot more Finale decks. The hack was to buy Japanese ones. My Finales are Japanese. For some they maybe just don't play EDH in Japan or something. But Finale is really expensive because it's just like kind of better than Craterhoof Behemoth. Quietly. The Court of Calling 2 slows replacement for Finale. I mean, I would play Urza Saga over Court, but like the thing is, you need like we have Asmo Cookbook Finale as our ways to have cookbooks. That's 12. That's a good number. We have so you sometimes when you play no Street Wraith, it kind of feels like you have less cookbooks too, because like Street Wraith plays like you need a cookbook to cast an Asmo, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't make that much sense. Um, but you can play Saga over Finale if you want to, is what I'm trying to say, I guess. Let's get ready to rumble into Fear of Missing Out. I think I'm gonna rumble again and then play a cookbook. And shocking in is probably a little too painful here. Obviously, we could maybe just not choose to get Cannoneer, which won't feel great, but I will take another cookbook. Do you have any 8 key lurking in the wings? Not at the moment. I've been messing around with a lot of builds that haven't been working out. Cutting Finales makes your requirements much easier. Yeah, so we were talking about if we went back to the Saga build, you could cut Finale, and then probably you could probably still keep the blue splash if you cut Finale, which might be a good way to go. So we go up here and then. Yeah, it's like, sorry, I have 2 Shadow Spears, but we could just cut the Finales for Kappa Cannoneers and then just see how that goes. Add some blue sources. Drum 2. Maybe. Dead. Endurance is not so good against them. It's like stops a Gravecrawler. I think, but Asmo is very good against them. I think on the play we can probably just try to have Asmo. You know what? Never mind. They're actually like very in on Unearth these days. Just play Endurance over FOMO. FOMO is also kind of awkward against Bowmasters. Right to the point where you can get a push-up redemption like Gab does. I don't want to. I mean, I could do some push-ups on stream, but I do enough working out off stream that I'm usually very tired. Drum is real slick with Rumble. That's true, yeah. I'm just not sure exactly how you'd fit it in. Yeah, this just might be too many cookbooks. I wonder if maybe drums are like better than geese. I'll probably no. You just need geese for beasting Troll King. You just have to play. If you're gonna play Troll King, you have to play 4 goose. Is at least a way I felt for a long time in the past. Okay, well, I really like this hand. T-Vin with the 19 months. Thank you. Welcome back. I considered mini partings. I had mini partings in a draft too. With mini partings, you have to play like at least 4 basics, ideally like 5, and the mana base felt kind of weird with that many basics, but I do like that card. I think mini partings is nice. Is Damping Sphere too weak just to stop the combo? Yeah, I think so. 3 Goose, 3 Book. You must play 4 Cookbook. Cutting a Cookbook is like insanity. It's 2 Flare of Malice. Fortunately, I don't have a green card for the Endurance. Maybe I wouldn't even. Oh, sorry. They hit this instead. I thought they were hitting the Soul Trader for some reason. I think I should probably kill something. I've got plenty of food coming my way. Nice. Maybe I should have discarded. No, I don't. I think hasting the Troll King here is probably not all that important. Isn't Saga a bit like having an extra book or two? Yeah, I don't know if you haven't been following the conversation, but yeah, we're talking about um basically playing Saga over Finale. I think at this point where I'm at is you should play Saga or Finale, but probably not both. Would you help me pick your RCQ deck? Well, if you gave me like 2 or 3 choices, yeah, I could choose for you. Cut cabin to play the mountain includes some number of mini partings. Still get the food in the end. I don't know. I mean, there's not like a lot of room. I did have a mini partings mana base. It was like just having like 4 or 5 basics. Like I just kept drawing a bunch of them, and it was like a little awkward. Maybe I should just kind of simply. I think the mini partings is probably not where you want to be in 3 color. Add Saga, cut Finale, add land cyclers. This is a conversation we have a lot with Detectives Phoenix. But like Oliphant and Generosint, those cards really suck. They like you are just like time walking yourself so often, so early. We have 4 Street Wraith, we have Rumble, we have food for our Phoenixes. You know, maybe we won't always be able to bestow, but like the downside of playing extra tap lands in your deck, I think, significantly outweighs the upside of um, having more Phoenix fuel. I'm a big time hater of these cards. They are just very weak. Okay, let's block the Trawler. So because their life total needs to be like enough higher than mine to combo kill me, I think I should sack a food here. Well, we should have plenty of food also. We may be able to Phoenix here. Yeah, I think instead of like not getting a blue source and surveilling, I'm just gonna exile my other Phoenix, and if they don't have if they don't have a flare, they're dead. Yeah, the cyclers are good if you're playing Reanimator, if you're playing Living End, if you're playing Crypt of Agadeem, these kind of cards. But in these decks that just need to get that you like need to get on the board fast. You need to go fast. It's just so important. Okay, so going to game 3 on the draw. Get some water from Esther, I think. Okay, deck tech for Adder. Okay, I have already forgotten the whole mirror entity thing. I remember that we had like a long-ish dialogue about. Okay, I guess I should cookbook turn once we can kill Asmo, kill something. I remember conceding that Mirror Entity was probably pretty interesting. What was the combo though? I would never play Craterhoof Behemoth, by the way. I just it's just so much worse than Azuri or Mirror Entity. There's just like no reason to play it basically. You just have like a dead card in your deck mostly. That's worse than Azuri. And like too many of these kind of slots. I also you must play the 4th Elvish War Master. So like that's kind of an easy swap, I think. Mirror Entity. No, there was like some like interesting technical reason for Mirror Entity, and I can't remember what it is. I might just be wrong. And or maybe I should say I was right all along. I'm pretty sure there's a Wirewood symbiote. Mirror Entity plus Wirewood and Titania. Yeah, I can't remember like what like something along these lines. Okay, so the Entity Symbiote Priest of Titania is infinite mana. Oh, right, because it turns your Wirewood symbiote into an elf. That's what it is. Right. Okay, cool. I couldn't remember it back then. I couldn't remember it now either, but that is pretty slick. That is pretty slick. I knew there's something. Okay, so I do like having access to that. I do like having access to that. I think that's fine. I think I should kill the supplier so that if they have a soul trader, they are like just a little bit weaker. Maybe this is just wrong, but they already have a soul trader of the yard, so it's like it could end up paying off. It could just be like the -1 mana, and then I just get to play another Asmo and stabilize. I can kill 3 things without, or 2 things with Asmo next turn. Yeah, and so I do think Sylvan Anthem Eladamri is cool. I would almost just definitely cut the Craterhoof for the 4th War Master and start there. I might play 3rd Teague in the board. Teague is like really good. Can I Cannoneer? Looks like I can Cannoneer or Asmo. Seems like I should. Asmo to not die. So I think what I want to do is I want to cast the Asmo, then cast Rumble, then cast Cookbook. I don't want to cast the Rumble first and like mill over a Cookbook on accident. If I mill over a Troll King, I think I just need my food tokens and play. Although I will take that 4th Cookbook. Or no, let's take backup Asmo. Yeah. We just need an Asmo in play. And then next turn we can go tap Breeding Pool, tap Forest, tap 4 food tokens, Hasty Cannoneer, tap 3 cookbooks 3 more times, 3 counters on it, hit for 8, 10 in the air. Yeah, I might play the 3rd Teague, but yeah, I would just cut the Craterhoof for the War Master. War Master also has a pump ability. I don't know. That card has always been like one of the better ones. If I block Supplier, like, what, they're gonna double Bowmaster me? Taking another look at the selective memory deck. I mean, that deck is very good. Like, I mostly haven't been playing it because I think the deck is very good and just like almost tier 1, if just not tier 1 right now. I'm gonna bring Mono Blue Belcher with me to Vegas. I have to build it. I might be building it in the airport. But I'm gonna bring it with me, and I don't know if I'm gonna play any modern, but like that is the modern deck I'm gonna be bringing. Let's use the cabin to trigger the Cannoneer, I think. Opponent's playing Soul Trader combo, which I think I'm gonna play no memory, and then I don't have Tamashes, so either I'm gonna like buy Tamashes in Vegas, or I'm going to just play like the Nassif no Tamashi build. Too much grind. Is this grind? I'm throwing a I'm throwing a Kappa Cannoneer at you. Am I gonna play Reshape? That seems good. I mean, is it good? Reshape is. I don't like love to play all like the talismans and the Pintet prisms and stuff. But maybe I should. I don't know. I'm kind of just gonna see like because what I did was I bought the selective memory build and then now it seems like the selective memory build is just not as good and so I just don't know what I can build. I also have to like dig up my archaeologists. I guess I don't think I have them like super handy. Seems like I could just kill this. Get for 3 extra damage. You have to play optimalist if you're playing halfway across the country. Well, I'm not playing in a modern tournament this weekend. I'm playing in a sealed 100K PTQ. Top 8 makes the Pro Tour. Big prizes. My main event is sealed. I'm not going for a modern tournament. So I might play in some side events. I might play kind of casually with some people, which is why I'm bringing a modern deck. But I'm not like, yeah, of course I would play the right 75 if I was prepping for a modern tournament. Can we play Woodlands? Well, I kind of went all forest for the Gingerbread Cabin. I'm not sure that Woodland or how good Woodland would be, but maybe. Yeah, like I don't know, you just like don't have much to sacrifice. Okay, playing against energy, pretty big matchup, although my hand isn't amazing. Copying Asmo with it seems decent. I mean, there will be moments where it's good to copy something, yeah. I probably will discard a forest and make a food. I need for like Cannoneer to be more online. And then I also like there's a good chance that we can just like discard our hand to just draw a card with the FOMO. We don't need the 4th forest that or land that often. Okay, so at the moment, I am not planning on casting the cookbook. I would discard it to the cookbook. So what I think I should do is search my library, grab Asmo, then surveil. And then if we've milled Daredevil, maybe if we mill Troll King, could have some relevancy here. We also do have Delirium for the FOMO now. Gingerbread Cabin. So I can play this, make a food, cast a FOMO. This makes like Cannoneer better top deck. I think this is just like barely good enough to keep. Do you ever play Paper Magic? I'm playing Paper Magic this weekend. I'm going to Vegas. I haven't played Paper Magic since RC Dallas was the last time I played Paper Magic. I'm playing 4 Belcher, 4 Selective, no Lotus, no Wormane. No Lotus is kind of nuts. I don't know. It's interesting. You just need to have turn 4 kills against Boros. It's like... It feels so mandatory. Let's see what they hit off the Raptor. We'll give them the life and the energy. They hit into Johnny. Ew. I think they have a removal spell for Asmo also. So I think I want to block the cat and then try to kill the Ocelot. No, Ocelot Pride is just going to flip the Ajani. Block the cat, kill the Ajani. Take the hit, I guess. The problem is like they also definitely have a removal spell for Asmo the way they've been playing. So I guess I should take my draw step here because I have a Gingerbread Cabin as my draw, so I get to go like play Gingerbread Cabin, food token on the stack. If my opponent kills Asmo in response, I just have another food token. I think I'm gonna high roll a little bit, just cast the cookbook, cast the FOMO. Draw land, game 2. This build not having the rough tumbles is maybe a little rough. It's maybe a little tumble. Force of Vigor against like Static Prison / Blood Moon seems like I should probably have one Force of Vigor. Seems like I should probably have one Force of Vigor. Can be such a blowout too. Yeah, Bombardment also, of course. Let's try 2. Let's try 2. Let's see how that feels. Can always discard them. Have I considered Arena of Glory plus Kroxa? We've trophied twice with Arena of Glory Kroxa this week. Not gonna sack the food token to cast a cookbook without an Ovalchase. May just activate Gilded Goose next turn if my Asmo lives. Right. So one annoying thing about finaling for Asmo again is they're just going to sack the Static Prison, and then I guess I'll get my last cookbook at least. Bit weird, but I think I kind of like just put Feasting Troll King into play. My opponent has already used oh, sorry, I can't because they're just gonna fly the Ocelot Pride. No, I need to Asmo this turn. Sorry, that's okay. The actual turn doesn't really change. Can rely on the Goose maybe for blue mana if we draw the Kappa Cannoneer. Kind of expecting them to just Legend roll my Asmo, but then we get another cookbook. They're thinking about it. So let's let them go to combat and see if they spend the energy on Guide of Souls. Tamashi Cookbook when. I spent a long time on like Tamashi Goblin Engineer, and I had Asmo Cookbook in some builds back in the day. Interesting. Yeah, I'm just gonna take 3. Kind of happy to spin the energy. As we all know, the energy mechanic is notoriously difficult to interact with. So there's a Flage. I think I go after the Guide. Now I feel a bit silly for not killing the Guide earlier. I'd have happily killed Guide. Yeah, I mean that might have been the right line. I do feel a bit silly. Guess we're keeping that. So we're gonna go discard a cookbook, play a cookbook, discard a stomping ground, make a food, make a troll king. Ring a ding ding. So if they just escape Flage next turn, I guess it's going to kill my fear of missing out, though. Also, I honestly don't even. I might should just discard this for food. It's kind of daydreaming about drawing Ovalchase Daredevil, but yeah, just having just 2 mana for a top deck is probably a bit more important. Rona combo with Phoenix plus Arena as haste enablers, Cannoneer as backup. I mean, Arena for Rona is kind of awkward because you can't do it on turn 2. It is kind of interesting. So it looks like they are just going to Flage here. And if we could keep the FOMO, then like we'd have this like line of trying to Detectives Phoenix, the Troll King, hit for 18 in the air. They would be like exactly dead, but I think they're just going to kill the FOMO. So winning this game is going to be difficult. They also have the Kitty's Blessing. I'm down to 6 life. Although if we could get a Phoenix on this, we can block the cat token, which is not nothing. Finding an Ovalchase Daredevil also feels kind of like we need to do that. So hopefully we mill over that and put something like an Asmo into our hand or something. Okay, we do mill over a Daredevil. Okay, we mill over a Daredevil. We can discard our Phoenix and Daredevil 3 times. And we can sack a food for life. I think we just probably can't beat my opponent having a ring, though. It would have been so cool to just extra combat step, 18, they exactly die. We will play it out, though. So when it goes down to 9. Have I tried the Say It's Name package in Gen Delirium? Yeah. And that I honestly I don't know how do you know about the Say It's Name? Or I mean I guess everyone knows the Say It's Name package, but like that's where we've played it the most probably. We played a lot of it there. I think we're gonna mulligan this on the draw. We're getting kind of weird with it. Playing Cannoneer and Feasting Troll King in a food deck. Back second Goose. Maybe a little greedy to keep the Cannoneer. And Mia with the 26. And Gab with the 56. 56, thank you, homie. Hope that everything's going well. Yeah, Rebuke makes some sense. Yeah, I haven't been loving the FOMOs. I kind of would maybe want to try 3. We could maybe just still stick to 3 Ovalchase. I feel like I still want the 4 Detectives Phoenixes pretty bad. So up against Control. Thankfully, they are usually off Wrath the Skies now. Did I find Gab's Belcher list? Someone linked something that was similar. If Gab is here, would link the latest Belcher deck. I'd kind of like to take a look. Rebuke is very bad in this deck. Could you expand on that? Ooh, this Rhinos? I mean, it's Glimpse. It is Glimpse. All right, spinning the wheel. Oh, okay. I have unwisely not tapped my cookbook. Plus, Generous Hint of Wraith. I like Generous Hint is so bad. I don't know. We've played a lot. We played a lot of Generous Hints in general, but like you just like have to cast a spell on board on turn 1. You have to cast a spell on turn 2. When are we cycling Generous Hints? Like Street Wraith is 0 mana and lets you cast Asmo on turn 1, and there's also fuel for the Phoenix. I just don't think it makes any sense. My brain can't comprehend why Goblin Engineer jolted awake Thopter Foundry's in tier 0. I did bark down up that tree recently. The problem is Thopter Foundry sword is just bad. Yeah, that wasn't as foretold. It's just like you just don't have any time to cycle it. It's just so slow. Like I would rather play mini partings, like because at least like that basic land cycles for you or land cycles for you, but it puts the food into play. Check Dak Fade didn't jolt to make list. He's on Citadel. I've seen that build. It's interesting. I've been burned by Citadel too much to like probably ever play it again though. It's like you just don't win the game when you put Bolas and Citadel into play most of the time. Like you just do not win the game. It is it is not a game winning play to put Bolas and Citadel onto the battlefield. It's very disappointing. I don't think this is a buried alive deck. The card is just so slow too. You gotta go really fast as you can in this format. It would be cool to hit Daredevil, Troll Phoenix. I agree. It's I don't know. Maybe I don't want to dismiss it too much. All right, so we'll take the Wraith. That was a good glimpse. Or sorry, Rumble. I'm probably gonna if I don't draw a Consign, we'll probably hasten Asmo here. What about like 2 Red and 6 in this deck? I don't know. What are we talking? Well, I would not play 2 Red and 6 in this deck. Like I keep saying this a lot. Generous Hint, Sandra Steelseeker, Red and 6. It's just not the format. It's just not the format. Like you against you just have to race. You were just racing, which is like the whole reason why I built this deck is that we're trying to Phoenix our Generous Hint, Phoenix our Kappa Cannoneer. That's the whole shebang. It just is. This is not the Dirtle all day format. All right, so we'll see how well they spin the wheel this time. I will discard. Do you think Asmo Broodscale combo could work? I don't know. Probably not. All right. We won this coin flip. If we can draw a food generator, we win. Oh, they just concede? Do they have all glimpses? Oh, we did have the food generator. We just fetched for Gingerbread Cabin. Discard Troll King, Phoenix. Yeah, okay. We did have lethal. Got the draw. We're gonna need a Consign a lot more. think I might play, I don't know, the finales are just so important. Like, we just need Cookbook so bad. I actually thought about playing Spire of Industry in this deck so that you could improvise out a big finale to win the game with. But then the land wasn't good with anything else. It was really awkward on the mana, and I don't know. It was a bit weird, but it's possible you could be like, you could still play like Tomio Meets the Story Circle, and well, I'm gonna keep. You can still play like Tomio Meets the Story Circle and Finale, and like just like Finale Asmo, and then you could still play like Immercool and Finale as your like stuff that you're ramping out. But I didn't get like that far, I suppose. Maybe we'll do that on Monday. I don't know. I need help deciding between Belcher, Broodschale, Boros, Titan. I really want to go to Prague. I like Belcher a lot. That's the deck I'm bringing with me to Vegas. Um, I think that the Broodschale deck is just not very good against Boros. I could be wrong. If it is somehow very good against Boros, let me know. I think I'm gonna play the Cookbook. I don't want to make it super obvious I have Consign up because I want them to play into this first Consign this turn. Just play Boros. I mean, you could play Boros too. Boros is like the safe choice, but it's like, I don't know. To some extent, it's like if everybody's just if everybody's just playing Boros, like I don't love the idea of going to an RCQ and saying I flip coin, flip coin, flip coin, flip coin. But I guess not everybody's gonna play it. Boros is a great deck, the safest for sure. I think Belcher is very good though. I'm a big Belcher fan right now. I've been losing with Belcher against Boros more than with Broodschale. That's good feedback. I don't know. I watched Matt play against Boros with Broodschale and it looked very hard. And then I've just seen people online say it's very tough for Broodschale to beat Boros. But if your experience is the opposite, I would, I think you should always be trusting yourself. Come on. So they put what did they get? They got a floated strand. Thoughts on Paul Patch formation and your sideboard for Demir? I mean, Demir's are got to be our best matchup by a lot. So I'm not really that wanting to. Yeah, I just don't really care about Demir. You just have 8 Asmos in the deck. So let's surveil. I don't want to discard the Phoenix now because I want to be able to discard the Phoenix and cast an Asmo. Graveyards and Omniscience. I wonder if they have a Shifting Woodland in their deck. 6 mana. Might be prudent for me to kill the spawn so they can't cast Atraxa. But they don't have any black mana at the moment, I guess. Another Goose. Save our opponent on a 3-turn clock with counterspells up. Counterspell up. I think I'm gonna not play my Goose right now, so that I can either make a food end of turn or I can replicate a Consign. And I think I will. Let's kill the spawn. I don't know. There's something that's. My heart is telling me to kill it, but I don't exactly know what they could be tapping out for. Like, it's just not very realistic for them to attract me. Well, let's counter that. Maybe Karn is the reason to kill that. So we have our opponent on a 2-turn clock, but we are now shields down. Scary stuff. They have a lot of bad cards in their deck, though. Apparently they have Commandeer also. That was a brutal Commandeer. One of their cards is a land, a basic forest. And the rest are not relevant. Okay, let's get a 4-1 prediction going. We're tuning. I thought I wasn't a big fan of Rebuke. I'm not a big fan of Rebuke, but I do think it's like much better in this deck than like any other shell usually played in. It is the best counterspell you could possibly play. We shit out a lot of food tokens really quickly. The access to a 1-mana leak is kind of an awesome tempo play in this kind of weird aggro deck. I'm like pretty into the thought of it, but yeah, I do usually hate it. And so it's kind of the same way like that Nassif played that that Tamashi, the Belcher deck with no Tamashi. Maybe it's the inverse of this, but like Nassif played the Belcher deck with no Tamashi. Nassif is like the #1 Tamashi gamer in the world, but he tried it without it, and so for me, like that was a really big like indicator that maybe Tamashi isn't optimal in the deck. I do like Tamashi in the deck, but it's kind of the opposite here, where like I'm a big Metallic Rebuke hater, but like if I'm wanting to play Metallic Rebuke in the deck, I think that's just a sign of how good it probably is here, or could be here, right? Rumble being worth the Force of Vigor Slayers. Rumble is crazy good. They have Unearth for Frog. As someone who's cast Tasigur a few times this year, I can't really say anything, but that's awesome. All right, let's get a red source. Yeah, I was like liking Tasigur alongside Fnatic of Vronas, because it's like 1 mana for like 4 power enabler for Fnatic, and it just gives you a mana sink for it too. All right, so they've dismantled me kind of well. I might just cast a Phoenix and block. Can't even get a food token with that. Well, I have no other option. I think Tamashi is like the best part of that. Yeah, I like the Tamashi stuff too. I just thought it was really interesting that like I saw someone say Gab was playing without it. Never splash for persist. I don't think so. So looking for a cookbook, looking for a finale. Would not hate a Gilded Goose. I might even haste a Gilded Goose with the Phoenix so I could make a token. That would be kind of crazy, but maybe crazy enough to work. Looks like it's going to be Surveil time. Bowmaster? Just Tasigur activation. So let's give a push. And then I think I'm going to Surveil, because one interesting thing about this dynamic is that I could just draw a land and hardcast a Troll King and bring back another Troll King. Yeah, it could be Cabin time. But I think instead I'm going to get the Surveil land, because I kind of just want to cast this. They have a push. Let's hope they don't have a counter spell. You can have a spell snare, you can have a force of negation. Can't have a sink into the stupor, I guess. Should have called out that one, huh? They're playing Tasker. They might not have Unearth in their deck, so I don't know if I'm going to bring in the Endurances. Let's run it back. Yeah, I remember Tasker was like kind of the best creature in Modern, or at least it felt like that for some amount of time. I'm going to go pee real quick, be right back. What's up? It's me, your friend, Aspiring Spike. What's up? It's me, your friend, Aspiring Spike. What's up? It's me, your friend, Aspiring Spike. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's go to 6. And is a lot better. I'm going to put back the second Heath. A painful start. I've seen Legends of Vox Machina. I'm actually watching it right now for the first time. On season 3. It's pretty good. I didn't really watch any of season 2 of their campaign, but I watched, or sorry, any of season 1, or any of campaign 1, but I've watched some of their second campaign. It's pretty good, I'd say. I'd give it a watch if you like D&D, if you like fantasy. A Asmo or a Gilded Goose would be an awesome top deck. I hate how they tanked on this frog. That cannot possibly be good for me. Although this top deck is good for me. Let's see if they have a Force of Negation again. Thanks, Bez. Yeah, I did not get a lot of sleep last night. I'm gonna maybe just passenger princess while Esther guides me along the way. So I guess I should probably surveil first. See if I'm lucky enough to mill over a Daredevil. And just kind of be able to plan for next turn a bit better. So this could be a food token. Any card could be a food token, so I think I should graveyard it. I'm going to main phase discard the Phoenix, so this way, if my opponent has another Fatal Push, they can't stop me from activating the Asmo on the Frog. But they have enough cards in their hand that they could discard 5 and keep the Frog alive. So what I want to do is I want to block their Frog with my Asmo before I activate on it. All right, discard your whole hand or lose your Frog. You really value 5 cards in hand over 1 Frog? Couldn't it be me? Draw step stop. Draw step bounce Asmo. So if they Bowmaster this, they can't counter the Asmo, which is something. This is, incredibly telegraphed counterspell, so I think we should probably just plan to discard just a cookbook end of turn, and then assuming nothing changes, discard the other 2 cards and just put a Troll King into play, bestow a Phoenix. If they counter Phoenix, we can just bestow again. Honestly, the big frog would be bad. It would be bad. Absolutely. Sorry about absolutely. I'll do better. Yeah, they can counter this twice if they don't want to take 9. Maybe they have like a Sink Into the Stupor. That would be less than ideal. Could have another one of these, I guess. I think they definitely have a counterspell. I think we have maneuvered around said counterspell as well as we can. Doesn't Stupor go to hand? You can still bestow from hand. Well, they would just bounce the Troll King. Counter, counter. I'm going to call those counter spells well played around. What are you about splashing black for Buried Alive? It's interesting. I think that card is not very good, but it might be correct in the deck. I think it's kind of interesting. You would probably have to play Stitcher Supplier and Phyrexian Tower, and then like the red for Phoenix is a bit awkward. 8/8 Murktide. So our Troll King will have 8 toughness if we can only bestow 1 Phoenix. Yeah, unfortunately, can only bestow 1 right now. Let's see if they. I think we do just offer the trade, assuming this resolves. Does not resolve. Okay. Where do I find Troll Ovalchase? Yeah, you can go Troll Ovalchase Phoenix, which is something. Maybe a gift setup. I mean, gifts is a whole extra mana. Yeah, it's a consideration. Well, I'll spend some time thinking about it. My opponent has 1 card in their hand. I need 1 more mana value to Phoenix. Okay, this is fine. Oh, sorry, it's not fine. Well, I mean, I'm not dead. But I was thinking that I would be able to make a 3rd food here, but I'm not able to. And I can't kill the Murktide Regent. So I have to bestow a Phoenix onto the Asmo to chump, exiling one of my Troll Kings. So now I can go to 1, get a Gingerbread Cabin. Don't we block and shoot? Oh, sorry. I don't know why I didn't think of the line. They should attack so confidently. No attacks. Block shoot is bad. It's an removal spell. Yeah, I mean, it's still like, it would have been bad into, I guess they didn't have the sync, did they? So this is probably going to be my Detective's Phoenix fuel. Just put this on the stack. In response to the trigger, we can discard the Kappa Cannoneer. So now we offer this trade, which I think they're going to take. They probably don't have a Cling in their deck if they're going to not do that in response. They put a Scalding Tarn in their yard. This feels very good, though. Return Troll King Phoenix. I'm really liking this dynamic. They do take 1 trample down to 11. We still have 1 food token in play. We could potentially just go discard. Koji with the 50 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Yeah, Troll King having Vigilance is huge. It's also good with the FOMO. Because you could like untap something else and still attack twice with it potentially. That's a good top deck. So this will give me Delirium unless it gets Force of Negation. We're attacking for 8 down to 3. And we can even we can cast the Asmo, but just not play our next cookbook, and then still. Well, I might be out of cookbooks, and then we'll still be able to sacrifice a food to play around top deck Bowmaster, which seems to be the main concern, right? Yeah, it seems like it's going to be better to play around top deck Bowmaster than to bring back the Troll King here. Yeah, I'm either out or I see one in the yard. I'm not sure if there's any in exile. Yeah, there's one in exile that I collect evidence for. So no cookbooks left. Might be a main phase food. I mean, there's just like they have no cards in their hands. So there's not really going to be a window where. I guess there's also just there's not really much reason to not. Shouldn't really matter. Instead of leaning into blue, do you think you could play black for Unearth? Works well with Asmo, Goose, FOMO, and Rumble. Okay, we need to probably stop suggesting Unearth for decks that played no 3-mana creatures. You know what I mean? Like Unearth is good when you get like back your Oculus, and boom, you got 3-mana value for one card, and you set up for it, and this was your big payoff. But when you like Unearth a 2-drop or Unearth an Asmo, it's not very exciting. Unearth is nice when you play like Manufactor or Peregrine Took in these kind of shells, and then like you discard them early. You like cookbook discard them, untap, reanimate, go off, or like they die inevitably because they are so fragile, and you unearth them. But like Unearth is just not good in decks like this that have like 8 1-drops, 4 2-drops. You know, you could play a little bit more, but like I almost have never like liked the card Unearth in a deck that has no 3-mana creatures. I have Claim Fame also, which is like oftentimes better. Unearth Dreamtide Whale? Now we're cooking. Boy, do I want a Dreamtide Whale so bad. That was a fast cookbook. So we can FOMO into Asmo, although I guess we can next turn because this can obviously tap for red. Probably will Rumble next turn though. Maybe if they frog, I'll go FOMO Asmo. That is what they did. And we even have something good to discard to it. Although -1 food is a bit awkward. It's just so bad if they counter my FOMO, I can't Asmo because it's my discard outlet. Dreamtide Whale is like the main MH3 card I still like really, really want to cast and just have not found a deck that looks playable for it yet. I love how they printed Dreamtide Whale and immediately power crept it with Oculus. I mean, yeah, in theory, like you're doing something with the proliferate. In practice, I don't know how true that is. They probably should have drawn before they discarded. Not a huge deal. When is new image features coming? I don't know. I'm working on it, but this has been a very busy month for me. 2 weekends ago, I had an Austin trip. I'm going to Vegas in like 3 hours. I'm going to Ren Fair the weekend after, so it'll probably be next month. I'm also like practicing Dark Souls. I just do it so fucking much. Would Flytrap be enough for 3 drops or do you need higher density? Yeah, you need. I don't know. Like I'm just not very close to wanting Unearth. Like Unearth is like very specific deck. Flytrap would be a step in the right direction. But Flytrap's also not that good without Arena. Why is Oculus so good? I mean, it's kind of nice against Boros, but I mean, the kind of simple answer is that it is very good on like rate and on stats. Making a food token with Goose and then just getting a Gingerbread Cabin next turn is pretty tempting, but I think I'm going to try to resolve the Rumble while I can. Nice. So this does give me Delirium, land, artifact, creature, sorcery. So let's just get in here for 8. End of turn, they discard an Undercity Sewers. Draw your card first, please. Draw your card first. If I block with my spawn token, I can't Kappa Cannoneer. I knew Blue Black Frog Tiger's established deck. What are my opinions on it? I think it's solid. I think that it is. I like that it has nut draws now with Unearth, like being able to turn to like Unearth Frog with Snare up, turn to Unearth Oculus sometimes, go Frog, discard Oculus, Unearth it, counterspell up. Like having access to nut draws like that is a huge deal for a deck like this. That like Murktide doesn't really have like crazy powerful nut draws like that. You just kind of like hope to curve out effectively against your opponent, which is, you know, obviously a fine strategy. So I'm gonna jam here. We did get Drown in the Locked earlier, so like let's hope that doesn't happen again. But this will win if they don't have Drown or Subtlety or Annul. Tank, Drown. Okay. Might have been better to just make a food token Asmo the frog, but I don't know. It seemed okay. I just read the stream name and I was like, WTF. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you call this one. I don't know if there's a better stream name. I think we just take the hit. Return of the King. That'd been pretty good. So let me rumble first. I kind of hope they just counter it and then we get to jam. Don't obviously the Phoenix is just worth the card in the yard. I guess I'd merely grab Fear of Missing Out. Then Tasker 2024. Dude, Tasker is also kind of nice alongside Fanatic of Ronus. Because it's like 1 mana, 4 power for Fanatic of Ronus, and then it also like gives you a mana sink for your Fanatic. What if Fanatic, Ronus, Tasker, Troll King, Asmo, Black Overlord? You gotta play Phoenix. We could play Phoenix. Okay. So 4-1 this league. That's good. I mean, I'm glad that we cooked and stuck with it. Matter Red, Twitch Prime, thank you, welcome back. I think that like Phoenix Troll King is really exciting. Phoenix Troll King is very exciting. There's a lot of like tuning and numbers to do. Let's open these chests. Cause like it's like Saga versus Finale is a big question mark. FOMO, as good as FOMO is in Modern, I didn't like love the mana curve. It felt like we had too many 2-drops. And so I think we should potentially be playing either something like this that's playing like Metallic Rebuke, no FOMO, or we should go back to Saga, and then we should like cut here we can cut FOMO for Urza Saga and Finale for Metallic Rebuke, and then I don't know if we also would need to play Kappa Cannoneer. It's gonna be kind of tough. We got to go on Roots. Yeah, I was thinking about Roots too. No, we had 3 Ovalchase. There should be the 3rd Ovalchase should be in over the NT. That was an older list. And the list we just played, we had 3 Ovalchase. This was the list we just played. Oh no, we already overwrote the list we just played. Maybe keep the FOMO as a Finale target. Maybe, but I'm kind of interested in like maybe just like cutting the Finale for Saga and see how that feels too. But I'm supposed to leave for my flight to Vegas in 3 hours. So I think what we'll do is we'll just call the stream early. We'll call the stream here, and then we'll plan on picking back up here on Monday. That way we have something exciting for Monday, because it's going to be difficult for me to prep while I am at MagicCon Vegas. So hope to see some of y'all there. I'm going to do a little bit of a shorter stream today. Unfortunately, it is what it is. I'm going to raid our friend Dino Singile, who's doing a playthrough of Resident Evil 4 for the first time in this.